back to Team 39th Rhapsody. As usual, I am your host, Tanishu, and today we'll be going over my main deck and a very excitable upgrade to it, with it being Youthberk Revolt Form Full Blast. So, Full Blast has completely changed the deck, as our goal is now simply to get Full Blast skill off, and then go for a nice OTK turn, hitting crits, and trying to damage our opponent as much as possible within 1 to 2 turns after going into Full Blast. This is made possible due to Full Blast's amazing skill, along with the amount of deck thinning that we must do to get his skill off. So, let's get into it. First off, we clearly have Youthberk Revolt Form Full Blast, with his amazing artwork, no mask, 3-pronged spear, and as I guessed it, a skill similar to Ulti Garga. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle by Revolter's ability, cost Counterblast 1 and perform all the following according to the card names of cards in your soul. If your soul is all the following, all of your front units get plus 15k until the end of turn. So, please keep in mind that you must CB to do any parts of the skill, and the 15k only is given to your front row if you have all 3 Revolt Form Zest, Gust, and Tempest in your soul. So if you have Zest in your soul, Full Blast gets a crit. If you have Gust in your soul, it gets a drive. This is similar to Gust and Sequana, so please use Sequana first and then go use this to use Gust skill. And then Tempest, which is now choose one of your opponent's rear guards of any grade and put it to the bottom of the deck. And of course the reminder text at the end of the turn to ride from your soul as rest. So, Full Blast is an amazing card because basically the 2 new supports we got fuel this skill of getting Zest, Gust, and Tempest into your soul, meaning you only want to go into Full Blast, and you want to go into Full Blast from turn 3 onward. You want to have all 3 in soul from turn 3, and yes, this is actually very easy to do. And then you simply want to hit triggers and kill your opponent. Next up, we have Witch of Extinguishment Fergosa. She is a new double rare that is direct Youthberk Full Blast support, as when she's placed in Rearguard Circle, if you have a Vanguard with Youth in its card name, Soul Blast 1, search your deck search your deck or drop for 1 card with the Revolt Form its card name put into Soul, and if you search your deck, shuffle your deck. This is to get Gust, Tempest, and Zest into Soul, allowing you to search from deck and drop. And this means that it adds 1 to your count, and as there's no restriction, you can Soul Blast during any time once you're on grade 2 or greater. Then her second part of that skill, if your soul has 3 or more cards with Revolt Form in different card names, cost Soul Blast 1 card without Revolt Form its card name and draw a card. So this skill can be used after you get to the condition of 3, and you have 1 extra card in your soul that is not a Revolt Form name. Cards like Sequana and Youthberk count. So, once you have 3, and if you don't kill your opponent on your first turn 3, you might need some hand, which is where her skill comes in helpful, as she allows you to draw 1 extra card. And then, auto Rearguard Circle when your Vanguard is placed by Revolter's ability, this unit gets plus 5k until the end of turn. This is really good, as Schneizo and Dolberg have only given Youthberk power, but Fergosa gives herself power. This allows you to make her amazing 30 to 40k beaters, and a very important rearguard. Continuing on, we have Bard of Braid Instrument Corino. Corino is also an insane card that was not shown in the anime directly, I don't believe. She's a grade 1 double rare that when this card is placed on Rearguard Circle from deck during your turn, this would be by Youth or Youthberk skill, or discarded from your hand during your turn, this would be by Youthberk skill. If you have a Vanguard with Youth in its card name, Youthberk skill or ride deck, my apologies. If you have a Vanguard with Youth in its card name, search your deck or drop for up to 1 card with Revolt Form in its card name, reveal it and put it into your hand, and if you search your deck, shuffle your deck. If you put a card into your hand, choose a card from your hand and put it into your soul. So basically this can be ride deck fodder for all the way up until grade 3, and if you are lucky enough for that to happen, you have fulfilled the condition of all 3 forms in your soul. What's nice about her is she can become a booster when called from deck and still give you the skill, or she can be discarded for the ride deck and still give you the skill. This grade 1 is honestly one of the biggest players in the new deck, and her second skill can be very versatile, as if you put a card into your hand, choose a card from your hand, put it into your soul, would usually, if you have not fulfilled the condition, mean Youthberk, Revolt Form, Gust, Zest, or Tempest. However, if you have fulfilled the condition, then you can put any random card from your hand into your soul to fuel Fergosa's secondary skill. Here's the list that I've basically settled on. We were playing 1 Zest, 2 Gust, and 2 Tempest. I do believe that there will come a day when we can go 1 Gust, 1 Zest, 2 Tempest. However, so many people are already scared of the fact that they will damage check a 1 of and then not be able to heal out of it and thus lose the game, which, while fair, is pretty unlikely. However, I have settled on this as the most non-bricky doable option. So, of course, we're playing 4 Full Blast, and then 4 Fergosa, 4 of the new Angel, 4 Sequana, of course, because we still want that twin drive on the secondary attack, and then 2 of the grade 1 cats that came out in DBT 11. These cats are great, as it's search top 5, call a card grade less than or equal to your Vanguard. By putting 2 ride deck back, you'll be soul blasting your ride deck due to Fergosa and grade 1 Youth. Then you can pop this down, search top 5, call another Fergosa, or call out a Angel. The Angel skill then proccing, allowing you to search your deck or drop and put another Revolt Form in your soul. Once again, we are playing 3 front, 8 crit. This is because we want to be critting our opponent and using front triggers on our opponent as much as possible so that we can finish the game once we get to grade 3 or the next turn under Persona Ride. Of course, we are playing the Blue OT, as adding a card back from hand to drop is nice. However, it also serves as a 9th critical trigger with 100 million power on it. The basic game plan is you're going to be discarding the Angel, calling Fergosas during the early game, using the Cat and the grade 1 Youth to help you out. Then, once you fulfill the condition of 3, you should be on grade 3, in which case you will have at least a Fergosa and another rearguard on the board with a Sequana in your back row. You will then swing, as usual with Youthberk, boosted by Sequana, go into Full Blast. Full Blast gives the 15k to the front row, making it pseudo Persona. Sequana will go into Soul before that, then you will counterblast 1, your front row will get the 15k, you'll do all the skills, you'll get a crit, you'll be at 2 drive, you'll put opponent's deck to the bottom, then Fergosa will get her 5k, and then basically you're swinging with a very violent Vanguard, as he is 2 crit and he has 2 drive. Then you'll have Fergosa and your other rearguard will be around 30 to 40k to make your opponent really not want to guard that, especially if they're on grade 2. Considerations I've noticed people are trying are cards like the Dolbreg, who basically the reason people are trying him out now is because you have so many cards that put Revolt Forms in your soul that his plus 10k skill actually becomes active in a usable fashion. I do not run him, however, as the Cat is your basic flex slot outside of cutting more Revolt Forms, and I want to keep up consistency, and the Cat is still amazing, as not only is it top 5, but it's also a 20k shield, which is huge for the deck, because since we play so many grade 3s. The same goes with Schneisel, as while Schneisel can search, just in case you don't find Full Blast, the chance of you not finding Full Blast is so very low in this deck, as you already deck them through all your other Revolt Forms. Technically, you can even search Full Blast off the Angel and just put a different card from your hand into your soul. You search off grade 1 Youth, You can use grade 2 youth. You can use Youthberk. And Schneisel giving plus 5k on attack has always made attack patterns kind of weird, so we dropped him. So let's move on to a bit of testing, shall we say. It's more me showing you the major game plan and a little bit of play. So here we are in CFA. Of course, the RNG here is a bit weird, but it should be okay. We of course have our ideal hand would be something like the Angel, Fergosa, Seguana, Youthberk, and Full Blast. I said ideal, but this is more like the key pieces that you want during the game. So we'll go for a draw, Tempest. Here you can discard the Angel, or you can discard Tempest, doesn't really matter. Discard the Angel, so open the deck. You're going to want Zest first, because we only play him at once. You're going to put Zest to hand and then to side. Then that'll be your turn. You'll likely take a damage. Then you'll go on to your next turn, in which case you'll draw, trigger, which is nice, good shield value. Here, you'll probably discard the Tempest, go into gonna skill of the grade 1 youth to Soul Blast 1. With top 3, call or add. Here we'll likely go either Fergosa. As your Vanguard is youth card name, you will open your deck for a Gust or Tempest. Here, since we already dropped a Tempest, we know one's in drop and it's pretty secure. And since Fergosa and the Angel both search from deck or drop, I'll probably rather go with the Gust in deck so that I can deck then a bit more. And here we don't want to Soul Blast yet, but we know that this will go into Soul and we have Fergosa in our hand, so we're chilling. We'll then swing Youth, go crit, swing. Our opponent's gonna go. This will be on they'll ride up to grade 2. We'll probably take 1 or 2 damage, or we'll guard it or whatever. Doesn't really matter. Then we can ride up to our grade 3 turn. This is good, drawing into another Full Blast for next turn. Here's a bit tricky because you want this for the next turn. You want this for the next turn, you want this for this turn, you want this for this turn, you want this for this turn. So, what's nice is that since we'll only be using 1 CB this turn for Full Blast, we can, in theory, if we really wanted to, discard a Full Blast, Youthberk, use the skill of the grade 2 youth to counterblast 1 and add the Full Blast back to our hand. Then you can check the top. Usually you would check the top because you wouldn't have your key pieces right here in front of you in your hand. But since we have it, dropping a soul, searching your deck for your Tempest, we'll go into Soul, and here we have all 3 of Warforms in Soul. Of course, then Juana, she'll get her plus 2k for having Youthberk Vanguard. You'll swing Youthberk, whether your opponent guards or not is up to them. You'll check. Well, that's an unfortunate check, but either way. Use the skill of him. Drive to 1. Then use the skill to counterblast 1. Since you have all 3 in Soul, you'll get 15k to your front row. And you'll get plus 1 drive, meaning you're at 2 drive, and you'll bot deck an opponent's rear. Then your since your Vanguard was placed with a Roll-Just ability, getting plus 5k. And here you have a 28k Vanguard with a crit, 2 drive, and 2 Fergosas, who are already at 30k alone, and could be likely powered up by these drive checks. So, do what you must. Swing. Heal. Amazing. See, even better. I don't know, OT, say you guard it, doesn't hit. Give me wait or drop, add whatever you want. Then swing, and that's basically your grade 3 turn. And obviously you go into the end phase, Youthberk again. I'm not going to show the next turn, but the next turn is obviously go into Persona Ride, and then go into Full Blast and do it all over again. And that's basically the game plan. Anyways, that was a short, nice, and quick, concise video on my Youthberk list coming in DBT 13. I think that although our game plan has gotten a lot more linear, it's still going to be a really fun deck, as you basically have all this explosive power right out the gate, and you're going to hit your opponent like a truck. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll be going over the other, I call it the big four of Dredgewood, Leonorn, Jiva, and Youthberk. So I'll be going over the other three in upcoming videos, so please stay tuned and thank you for watching.